You know that moment, that overwhelming feeling when anxiety just hits you like a wave? You feel like you're losing your footing, and you just need a way to get it back, and fast. Well, today we're going to talk about some simple, super powerful techniques that act like an instant reset button for your nervous system.
It's such a common feeling, right? One tiny worry just latches onto another, and suddenly you're caught in this thought storm that feels totally out of your control. And it can happen anywhere, anytime.
And it's not just in your head, is it? Your whole body gets the memo. That racing heart, the tightness in your chest, that feeling like everything is just speeding up and closing in all at once. It is a full-body alarm bell going off.
So that whole experience, from the racing thoughts right down to the physical panic, it has a name. We call it the anxiety spiral. And honestly, just being able to name it is the very first step to stopping it dead in its tracks.
And here's the thing. This isn't random. It's actually a feedback loop. Your anxious thoughts trigger a physical stress response, like that pounding heart, and then those physical feelings seem to confirm to your brain, yep, there's definitely a threat here. This creates this vicious, self-perpetuating cycle that can feel impossible to escape.
But what if you could just cut the power to that loop? What if you had a simple little reset button you could press anytime you feel that spiral starting up? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about.
The secret here is a concept called grounding. And it sounds fancy, but it's really not. It's just the simple practice of using your senses to pull your attention out of that internal storm of worry and plant it firmly back in the real physical world, right here, right now.
You'll hear these techniques called different things, like the 3-3-3 rule or a 3-breath reset. But at the end of the day, they all share one single powerful goal: interrupt that spiral and bring you back to the present moment. Now, this isn't just some feel-good trick. There's real hard science behind why these simple little actions are so incredibly effective. So let's peek under the hood at what's actually happening in your body. Okay, so think of your nervous system as having two modes, a gas pedal and a brake pedal. Anxiety absolutely slams on the gas. That's your fight or flight system, revving up your heart rate, making your breathing all shallow. But the brake pedal, that's your rest and digest system, does the exact opposite. It slows everything down and tells your body, hey, we're safe.
And that is the whole point. Grounding techniques are your way of consciously, manually hitting that brake pedal. By deliberately shifting your focus to your senses and changing how you breathe, you're sending a direct signal to your nervous system that the emergency is over.
All right, enough theory. Let's get really practical. Here's your step-by-step guide to two of the most effective, easy-to-use techniques out there. First up, the 3-3-3 technique. This one is so easy. Step 1, just look around the room and silently name 3 things you see: a lamp, a book, a cup. Done. Step 2, now tune in your ears. What are 3 distinct sounds you can hear? Or what are 3 things you can feel? The texture of your shirt, the chair under you. And step 3, just take 3 slow, intentional breaths. That's it. You've just pulled your brain out of the worry vortex and back into reality.
Okay, next up is a real powerhouse. It's called the physiological sigh. It sounds a little technical, but it's super simple to do. You take a deep breath in through your nose, and then right at the top, without letting any air out, you take another short, sharp sip of air. That second little inhale actually helps pop open the tiny air sacs in your lungs. Then you exhale really slowly through your mouth for as long as you can. That long exhale is the magic key. It directly tells your body's main calming nerve that it's time to chill out. So knowing the steps is one thing, but actually being able to use them when you're feeling stressed out is a whole different ballgame. So let's talk about how to make these tools something you can really rely on.
You know, the best part about these techniques is how discreet they are. Nobody even has to know you're doing them. In a meeting, just notice 3 things on your desk. On a crowded train, find 3 visual details outside the window, and maybe press your fingertips together. And if you've got kids, you can even turn it into a little game.
Now, a few quick things to watch out for. First, try not to rush through it. The whole point is to be slow and deliberate. Second, focus on those slow, steady breaths, especially the long exhale. But most importantly, please, don't judge yourself if it doesn't feel like a magic wand instantly. This is a practice, not a test. And remember, it's a fantastic tool, but it might not be the only tool you need.
Okay, this might be the most important tip I can give you. Don't wait until you're in a full-blown panic to try this for the first time. Practice when you're just sitting around feeling calm.
Doing this builds the muscle memory, it builds the pathways in your brain, so when stress does hit, your brain already knows the escape route. It just becomes second nature.
Now, it's really important that we put these techniques in the right context. They are incredibly useful, but they have a very specific job to do.
The best way to think about grounding is like emotional first aid. It is perfect for stopping the bleed in a really intense, overwhelming moment. What it is not, however, is a substitute for professional help if you're dealing with chronic anxiety or panic disorders. If that's part of your story, please, we really encourage you to reach out to a therapist or a doctor.
I love this quote because it just frames it so perfectly. This is about being compassionate with yourself. It's a simple, practical act of self-care when you're having a hard time. There's no passing or failing, there's just the gentle act of coming back home to yourself.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. We can feel so powerless when anxiety takes over. But what if the most powerful tool you have is something you carry with you every single second of every day? Your breath. It's always there, just waiting to be your anchor in the storm. You just have to remember to use it.